looks for the end zone. Touchdown!
And the left jab.
Makes the shot. Goal!
Access 7 Sports. For all of your local sports, tune to Access 7.
John, I guess let's just start with what sort of precipitated this deal being made right now.
Well, I asked about Cale Fleury last year, but Jeff Chenoweth was still the manager, so before the trade deadline. So it hasn't been in the working since then. But as Matt reminded me sometime yesterday when we were talking, I first asked him about him when I met him at the awards last May 5th. So it's been in the works since May 5th.
What do you feel he will bring to your team besides some leadership? Obviously, he was the captain of the ice. What do you feel he brings?
Well, he's a pretty good all-around defenseman. Like, he has a lot of hardness to his game, so he's going to be a more physical defender than we have, and he's got a good shot. He's drafted by Montreal as his first time eligible for the draft. So, and Dale lives in Cranbrook, McMullen. He doesn't scout players per se in our league, but he sees them lots because he goes to all the games there. Like, he's just a real good player, and so that's what we're looking for.
Does he sort of, when you look back at what last year's team was, does he sort of fill that void that maybe Hobbs left behind?
Well, I think he's got some physical elements to his game, so I don't sort of Connor leaving behind, but I think any team needs a blend of players, of different types of players in certain positions, whether it's up front or on the blue line, or so. I think he's a different element than we have right now, and in some ways, yes, to Connor, but you're talking a guy that has a weapon that's unique, just like Wagner's speed was unique. Hobbs' shot is unique, so it's like they're different. They bring a special dimension, but Cale's going to be a valuable player to us.
John, this obviously wasn't something that came together, just this morning. Would you care to dispel maybe the theory that this was a reaction to disappointment?
Well, like I said, it's been May 5th. With Matt Cockle, it's been May 5th that we've been talking about this. We talked extensively about it in June 18th meetings in Vancouver. We had dinner and stuff on it, so this has been since probably I would say it's been in my mind for sure since whenever that date was that announced that we got the Memorial Cup. This has been a player that's a priority.
Obviously, there's a price to doing business. Did you have to swallow hard at all on this one?
No, we agreed on this price actually quite a while ago. It took a while to finalize, but no, I think it's hard giving up a young player like Cole Muir, who's going to be a good player, but that is the price you had to pay in it.
Do you like the mix now of this defensive core, especially those top four?
Well, I like the start of the mix of it. We're a work in progress here.
Obviously, this isn't the only move that's going to be made, but does this sort of solidify your defensive core now, or do you feel that you need to make some more moves on the blue line?
Well, I'm not going to say where the moves might or could or hopefully even made, but I like adding this piece of a quality veteran who's a right-hand shot. We go from having 3 years where we had lots of right-hand shots to where we have none, and I think you get used to one way or the other, so it's not like you think about having all left-hand shots, but there's certain times in the game that it's a little bit more difficult for them to make a play along the boards and stuff like that. So that was just another, we'd have been looking at him if he was a left-hand shot, but your right-hand shot D like this, he's a significant piece.
Have you talked to him yet, and what was his reaction?
Well, he's thrilled. This is, his name has been bantered about by all the other teams that are going to fight to be here with us in May in our league, and this is where he wanted to go.
This is sort of the first domino to drop. Do you expect other teams now to start trying to get assets that are in a position of competing for a championship?
Well, I think there's lots of talk out there. I think there's there's going to be significant players that are going to move, as there usually is significant players going to move. Is it going to be today or next week? I probably highly doubt it. Everybody has till January 9th or 10th, and there's a trade freeze, and guys that are in World Junior can't be announced, even though they might be traded. So there's a lot of time here. There's going to be a lot of talk, and then there will finally be action amongst teams.
Trading away 2 picks and a 16-year-old prospect, how deep is your asset pool still to be aggressive in the next month or so?
Well, we have 3 of the next 4 first-round picks available, besides with one of them being technically tied up with Tyson Jost. But we don't have anything that isn't. There's nothing that isn't available that can be available to get us where do we want to be in May.
You're known for liking preferably to get your business done sooner than later. Is this an indication of that, and you hope to continue following that philosophy?
Well, I would like to say I would hope to continue following it, but despite wanting that philosophy, I don't think we've ever been able to really do it during the leading up to things. Like the first year, it was in January when those guys finally moved, and we got Cole Sanford with literally and honestly 10 seconds left on the clock in the Everett hotel room. So business has never really gotten done as much as you want to in very early fashion for us in this trade deadline type of thing.
Do you like the fact you get him before you head out on the West Coast?
Yep, absolutely. That was an added plus to it when it was started to finally get finalized yesterday. So yeah, that's that's an interesting bunch down there. We're going to play a team in Portland that's faster than the team we played yesterday, and we're going to play a real heavy team in Tri-Cities and Seattle. So there's lots of interesting games.
You've had a few games to, I guess, kind of get a barometer on your team. You're just adding Nick Henry to the mix, so you've had some moving parts. But what's your sense of how much more work you have to do?
Well, we have to get better as a team on the ice, but we have to do work. Like, we faced one of, if not the top team in the league the last 2 games, and we see where we're at. I don't think it's a big gap, but Moose Jaw is a top team. They were a top team last year. All they lost was their 20s. So they're a pretty good team. They're a pretty good barometer to know where you got to tinker with your team.